I think Mendoza has, what is it? Hold on, let me think about it. 8 touchdowns in the playoffs and 5 incompletions. This was following a bunch of people trying to compare his Heisman Trophy season to Joe Burrow's Heisman Trophy season, saying, man, Joe Burrow was really on another level. And to that I say, I can't really find a difference between Joe Burrow and Fernando Mendoza. And I'm really trying not to get my hopes up or be hyperbolic, but this kid might be special. Like, he might just be one of these Andrew Lucks. Because I think it was ALLaBorde Raiders or DJ, one of the two, say, Mendoza's a really good prospect, but he's not the Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, that blue chip, like, wow, this guy's going to be something. But that was before what he just did against Oregon. I've never seen a game like that in a high-stakes situation. Indiana beat Oregon by more than Oregon beat James Madison. They put up 56. Mendoza had 5 touchdowns, like 3 incompletions. Every ball he throws is perfect. Every decision he makes is perfect. And we're going to get into all of it. It's getting ridiculous how good this kid is. And again, I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but the idea that we might finally be past looking for the next franchise quarterback pre-Derek Carr, during Derek Carr, post-Derek Carr is huge. So we're going to talk about Mendoza right now. We're also going to talk about all the coaching candidates we've interviewed thus far. But let's go right to Raiders Wire here. Our guy Levi. Fernando Mendoza puts exclamation point on bid to be Raiders' #1 pick. Last Sunday, the Raiders locked up the top pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. There was little question at the moment that they would be taking a top quarterback. The only question was, who was that quarterback going to be? Coming into the college football semifinal matchup between Oregon and Indiana, the debate was not quite settled. And by the way, I was planning on doing a whole Patreon series, a whole YouTube series, Mendoza versus Dante Moore. Who would you rather have? That's done. That's done. And as it happened, the game featured 2 quarterbacks who were being debated, Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore. It's settled now. Fernando Mendoza is undisputed a top quarterback in this draft class and an easy selection for the Las Vegas Raiders to pick #1 overall. Mendoza had already won the Heisman Trophy, making him the favorite to be the Raiders' pick. But what he did in the Peach Bowl Friday night cemented that. Not to mention the polar opposite game Dante Moore had. Mendoza's stat line for not just the Peach Bowl, but for the Hoosiers' win over Alabama last week is nothing short of incredible. Over just the first 6 quarters of play, Mendoza has completed 24 of 27 passes for 302 yards and 6 touchdowns. Yes, that's twice as many touchdowns as incompletions. And we're talking about playoff games. And that is here to say nothing short of elite NFL throws he made along the way, perfectly placed throws all over the field. I mean, let's watch this one. Hopefully I don't get banged for copyright. Look at this placement. Easy money. Easy money. I mean, some of these passes are not to be believed. Look at this one. It's insane. There isn't an NFL team that wouldn't want him in their uniform, and for once, it looks like that elite prospect will be wearing silver and black. The Raiders are just waiting to turn their card in. If they don't draft this kid, there will be riots in the streets. If they trade back, there will be riots in the streets, and I think rightfully so. I am 100,000% all in on this kid. I don't think I've been more sure of a prospect in a long, long time. Probably since Burrow. And it's funny that that's the comparison draft-wise because they're the same player. They are the same player. Nothing physical from Burrow wows you. Not his arm strength, not his mobility, not his body. But he puts the ball where it needs to be. It's accurate, it's on time, it's quick. He's just an excellent football player. Like that's just what it is. It's like, oh, what are his elite traits? I don't know. His elite trait is that he's a genius and he's an excellent football player. He knows exactly where to go with the football. And, I mean, if you go watch Fernando Mendoza highlights now on YouTube, every single comment is about the Raiders. And I'm just so excited that we have a chance to get someone really special here. And I'm telling you, I've been doing this a long time, and I've done pretty decently at picking out who the best quarterbacks are going to be in the draft classes. You cannot go wrong with this kid. You just got to protect him. Protect him with that offensive line, spy tech, because you've got the running back. You've got the running back, and you've got the tight end. Give me another wide out, develop a couple guys, and let's go, because we can flip this thing fast. People talk about it's going to take years. It's not going to take years with Mendoza. It's not. You just got to capitalize on his rookie contract. So let me know what you think about him in the comments. But and also 725-253-0264. Make sure we're calling, leaving voicemails. I need those voicemails. I got a couple. I'm going to get a couple more. Then we're going to do the live show. If you want to join the Patreon, that helps the channel out tremendously. You can call in live if you're on the Patreon or YouTube members. You got both options there. Anyway, here are the people, that we've interviewed so far. Davis Webb, Stefanski, Nagy, Joseph, Clint Kubiak. I like all this. And by the way, Davis Webb, like, he interviewed for the Ravens job. People want Davis Webb as their coach. You know what I would like? Keep an eye on Davis Webb, sneaky offensive coordinator, because he's not an offensive coordinator yet. If we go the route of it won't be Vance Joseph, but a defensive head coach, a Saleh, a Brian Flores. Again, word on the street is it's Brian Flores, Dayball. It might be the combination that they want, but I would really love a Stefanski or a Kubiak. Matt Nagy is interesting, but I'm excited with the people that they're bringing in, and the whole thing is just to leave no stone unturned. I will say this, though. This is somebody that I didn't talk about because he wasn't yet fired at the time that I made my video, but Mike McDaniel was fired. Now, I don't think I would hire him to be the next head coach, although I do believe he would work really well with Mendoza because he worked really well with Tua. When he got there, Tua was like on the outs, no thanks to Brian Flores, and he resurrected and saved Tua's career. And if you're going defensive-minded head coach and Mike McDaniel doesn't get a head coaching job, and he might because there's like 8 openings now with, 7, I guess, minus the Dolphins. I would want to bring him in as an OC, and I think you could pair him perfectly with the guy that was on my list in Robert Saleh, because they both were together in San Francisco. They both know each other so well. They can get along great, and Saleh could be there to coach up the defense, and Mike McDaniel can be there to usher in Fernando Mendoza. That, to me, feels like a match made in heaven over the Brian Flores thing, because, again, it just got weird, and I don't think they would match up Flores and Mike McDaniel, because Mike McDaniel took Flores' job, so that would be too weird. At the end of the day, I want an offensive-minded head coach now more than ever with what I've seen Mendoza do. But if you're going to go defense, which you could, I guess, you got to have a bright young mind as that OC. And Davis Webb, Mike McDaniel, I'll throw Josh McCown out there too. I really like what I've seen out of Josh McCown as a quarterback coach in Minnesota, except for the J.J. McCarthy of it all. But man, Mendoza, this kid is something else. Yeah, just leave comments about all this stuff. Hit that like button. We already blew past 15,000. Let's get to 16,000. Why not? Why not us? Shout out to the $5 and $10 patrons and YouTube members. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free out on the church. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.